What is going on, guys? Welcome to another video. Hope you guys are all doing good. In this video, we are actually going to be doing an 18,000 mile review of the Z1 Supercharger. So I know that sounds pretty crazy, but yeah, we actually have 18,000 miles on the Supercharger. I'm gonna go ahead and pop the hood here so you guys can see the kit. But basically, long story short, this is gonna be a bit of a sad video. The Z is not going anywhere, but the Supercharger is. This is officially my final drive, kind of final review of the Supercharger kit, because a few days after this video uploads, I'm actually going to be removing the kit. I will explain why towards the end of the video, so definitely stick around if you're interested in that. But for now, our focus is pretty much to review the kit and my experience after putting 18,000 miles on it. So for those of you that are brand new to the channel, my name is Ismael, but everybody calls me Ish. This is my 2012 Nissan 370Z Nismo. It does have the Z1 Supercharger on it with the 80mm pulley. So for the past year or so, the car has actually been pushing about 650-ish horsepower, wheel horsepower, and then about 470 wheel torque. So definitely been pushing more than kind of the average power that I would say most people push with this kit. So the way the video is going to work is I'm pretty much going to just state the issues that I've had in the past, since my last video. The last review video that I made was about at 15,000 miles. I've only put about 3K since that video, but I'm going to talk about any issues that I've had in the last 3,000 miles, my overall feelings about the kit now that I'm pretty much about to get rid of it, and overall, reliability, costs, the whole deal. So definitely stick around, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I'm not gonna go super in depth when it comes to every little detail about the kit, just because I've done other review videos. But what I'm gonna talk about is just overall my experience and my feelings towards the kit after having it from, brand new, 0 miles, to now where it's at 18,000 miles later. And the number one thing that I always get people asking me is it reliable? Can I put this kit on my Z, my G, whatever it is, and have the, trust that the kit is not gonna fail? And in my personal experience, the kit is seriously probably the most, if not top 3 most reliable supercharger kit out for this platform. And I only say that because I bought this kit brand new, right? I put it on and I was running about 500 horsepower for about 6 months. Shortly after that, I swapped the pulley on it and I ran about 560-ish horsepower, had no issues up to that point. And then for the past year, it's actually been what it's currently at, which is 654 wheel, 470 torque. And this is with obviously 85, smallest pulley, pretty much max effort stock block build. And I have had issues with the kit when it comes to small little things. And one of those things that I had issues with about 6 months ago was the actual belt that the Supercharger has. The main issue that this car had with the belts was that it would actually snap them. Especially when pushing, higher torque, the car would snap the serpentine belts just because of the amount of tension in it. And it would only really happen if I would let off the throttle really hard in like 4th or 3rd gear. So that was definitely a flaw with the kit. I reached out to Z1 and I asked them, why does this keep happening? Please find a solution for this. And they did. 6 months ago, they sent me a stronger belt for the car that pretty much has no issues anymore. Before, it would snap all the time. I was kind of having issues with every like 4 to 5 months, I would have to get a new belt. But now that stronger belt on the car has had 0 issues, and I've done multiple hard pulls in both, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, pretty much every gear, and I've had no issues. So that's one thing right there, extremely reliable when it comes to that. Another thing is I'm still on the stock motor, guys. You guys have to realize that a lot of people are afraid to boost these cars just because they think that the moment you throw any boost at it, it's gonna blow up. But in my case, knock on wood, I have been extremely lucky. This car is still a stock motor build. I have not built the motor at all. I've only done basic maintenance like oil gallery gaskets and stuff like that. And that's it, nothing else. So after, almost 20,000 miles having a supercharger on it, the motor's still here. And I actually recently compression tested it. Well, my guys over at SVD Performance did it. And they told me that every single cylinder after compression test was reading at 200 PSI or higher, which is extremely good. The range for the VQ 37 VHR is about 140 to 190. And so anything over 200 is extremely good, which I'm very happy about. But yeah, I would say when it comes to reliability, I can vouch for this kit and say that it is probably one of the most reliable supercharger kits out there. Obviously, everyone's experience is different, and it all depends on how you maintain your car too. If you're somebody that never checks your supercharger oil, never checks, the condition of your belt or any of that, then, obviously you're gonna have issues, right? It's a car. You're supposed to go and check up on things, especially when you have this amount of aftermarket stuff on the car. But in my personal opinion, this kit is very reliable when it comes to major components like the blower itself, the oiling system for the supercharger, the belts that are now have been revised and are actually much better. So yeah, I cannot complain there. So I'm running out of light a little bit here, so I kind of had to start turning on the lights on the car and all that. But another thing that people always ask me about the kit is, does it make good power? Is it fast? Is it worth actually putting this on my car? Now, everyone's opinion of what they define fast is obviously different, but this car stock, I think when I dynoed it, it made about 320 wheel horsepower and like 270 torque or something like that. And that was just with an exhaust, some test pipes, and intakes, right? So it was a very basic full bolt-on, kind of bolt-on build, and a tune, obviously. So when I first dynoed this car and it had a 100mm pulley on the supercharger, it made about 515 wheel horsepower roughly. When I put the 90mm pulley, which is a slightly smaller one, it actually made about 560. Now, when I slapped the 80mm pulley and I did twin pumps and had the whole car set up for the actual amount of boost that it was pushing, it made 654 wheel. So in my opinion, for a stock block build like this car is, if you're looking for over 600 horsepower, this supercharger can do that easily. Now, obviously there's other factors that depend on that, such as your tuner, the other supporting mods that you have, such as, in this case, my car has long tube headers, full exhaust, stuff like that. If you don't have any of that stuff, you might be lower power, but I think if you're looking for a supercharger kit that can make over 600 horsepower, this kit can easily do it, and it can do it well, because this car has done it for over a year and over 10,000 miles. So yeah, as far as power, it is definitely good in that realm as well. Okay, so the final point that I kind of want to talk about, because I think it's something very important when it comes to, a kit like this that you're going to spend thousands and thousands of dollars buying, is how is my experience with the company that makes the kit. So for those of you that aren't familiar, the company that makes this kit is obviously Z1 Motorsports, and there's kind of mixed reviews, right? Some people have had great experience with Z1, some people have had terrible experience. But in my personal case with this car, this supercharger, and all the parts that I've bought from them, I've had a great experience. Specifically with the supercharger, like I mentioned, there was an issue where the belts would snap, and it would happen pretty often, and it started to get really annoying because it would leave me stranded whenever it would happen. So reached out to Z1, kind of explained my frustration, told them that this shouldn't be happening, especially with a kit that costs so much. And they actually developed a stronger belt for the car, right? And they sent it out to me at no cost to me. And I told them that I could pay for it, that I could, be part of that process if they wanted me to. and they said that, nope, you know, we're gonna take care of you, and they did. So that to me speaks volumes, because yes, a kit and its quality is important, but if the company that makes the kit doesn't stand behind their product, then it's bad. You know, I think that's just as bad as having a bad kit in the first place. So as far as customer service, it's really good. I think they're doing a good job with it, and I hope that's how other people are feeling about it as well. But yeah, that is another point that I wanted to touch. One more thing that I think is important to talk about as well is, excuse me, a lot of people ask me all the time, do you regret buying the Supercharger? Do you think that you should have gone turbo instead of Supercharger? And 100% no, I do not regret supercharging this car. And the reason why I do not regret it is actually very simple. It's simply because going Supercharger has allowed me to really learn kind of what goes into boosting a car like this. Now, obviously going turbo will be the same thing. You're gonna learn a lot about it as well. But I feel like with this kit, it was so simple to install that with some patience and some time, and obviously the help of some friends, I was actually able to install this kit in my garage within about, 3 to 4 days. And that was with me having very minimal experience when it comes to working specifically with parts like that, a supercharger, fuel, fueling, coolant lines, stuff like that. But I really had no issues installing the kit. And I think that's an important thing, right? If you're buying a kit like this, you have to factor in the fact that if you're not going to do the work yourself, you're going to have to pay somebody else, thousands of dollars to put this kit on for you. But in my case, I saved all that money because I decided to do it myself with some friends. So when it comes to install experience and the installation instructions and stuff like that, I would say that this is probably easily one of the easiest kits to install on a car, specifically on, a VQ. So that is the main reason why I believe that I do not regret putting the Supercharger on. It was really easy to install. It's been really reliable. And for the price that you pay, I definitely think you get a solid kit. A kit that you're able to go and road trip with if you want to. A kit that is not going to fail you and is still going to make solid power on this platform. So yeah, that is my personal thoughts about whether I regret it or not. Would I do it again? Would I go Supercharger if I know everything that I know now? And yes, I would, even though I know that turbo would be faster with this specific fuel system that I have and stuff like that. I would go Supercharger. It's been very fun. The noises and stuff that the car makes is just a whole nother, world with the way it sounds. Sounds like a jet. But yeah, it's such a fun car, honestly. So if you stuck around, it's probably because you want to know why I'm getting rid of my Z1 Supercharger kit. You probably are getting a big hint by the parts that are in front of me, but the reason I'm getting rid of it is I'm going to switch the Z to a turbo. It's not because the Z1 Supercharger is bad or it's giving me issues or anything. It's simply because I've had the Supercharger for over 2 years. I kind of want to switch the setup. I want to try out, what the turbo life is all about, just because everything, everybody that boosts their VQ with a turbo setup always says that it just feels great. So I want to experience what all that is about. The car is fully set up to do it already. I just literally need to put the kit on there. So yeah, I've started gathering parts. I have a Treadstone intercooler right here. This is actually a 4.5-inch thick intercooler. And the reason why I got this one was because I've heard great things about it. I've heard that it actually helps with IATs a lot compared to the intercoolers that come with most of the kits. So yeah, for those of you that are wondering, I am going with a boosted performance mid-mount turbo kit. It is a twin scroll kit with a comp 6767 and pretty much the full dual wastegates and that full setup. I also have some Z1 shorty headers here that I picked up. These actually look very, very good. You can see here. They are very nice quality. These are the V2 version, because Z1 actually used to have a V1 version, and these are the new ones that are actually better from what I've heard. So drop these off tomorrow to get Cerakoted because I don't want to heat wrap them, and that's all I got for now. Obviously still waiting on the turbo, still waiting on the kit itself. I only ordered it about 3 weeks ago, so I'm hoping that it doesn't take too long to come in, but obviously we will see, and I'll keep you guys updated about that. But yeah guys, I am super excited to put a turbo on the Z. Ever since I rode in my buddy's single turbo top mount Z34 Ben, I'll put his tag on here, I just had to go turbo, honestly. It's a whole different experience. How torquey it is and just the way the power comes in, it's time for me to experience, and I pulled the trigger on it finally. So super excited. I'm really impatient, so it's gonna be hard for me to wait, another month or two for the kit to come in, but we'll start gathering all this stuff and prepping it. But thank you guys for tuning in to another video. I hope you enjoyed that 18,000 mile review of the Z1 Supercharger Kit. It is the final review because the kit is coming off within a few days. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely recommend the kit, like I said. And yeah, we will see you guys in the next video.